It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, today I was going to put an interview up on my Sharp Interactive board, an interview between an OEM executive and one of the industry's analysts, let's just say that. And I was listening to this interview, and there was a couple of things that were said during the interview that were just so ridiculous that I thought we could stop the video. I could say my commentary, but folks, I don't want to beat people up that bad. Maybe I should, who knows. But here's the reality. Our industry's print isn't growing. And our OEM leaders need to think about how they say things in interviews. So this particular OEM leader said this. I was talking to a dealer the other day, and they told me their print volume grew 40%. And then the conversation just kind of went away. I was thinking the interviewer would have challenged that. What the hell are you talking about 40%? Have you ever watched The End of the Day with Ray? My God, he's saying the world's ending, and you're saying you've got a dealer out there that grew their print volume 40%. Folks, we need to substantiate all the growth in print volume. Because here's the reality. Back in 2018, well before this pandemic, a dealer had machines out in the marketplace. Those machines are probably still out in the marketplace. If you looked at the volume in 2018 and you looked at the volume in 2022, did it grow 40% or did it decline about 25 or 30%? That's the number we care about. Because that dealer could have went out and added a whole bunch of new machines to the marketplace. And then took all that volume and added it to the existing volume and went and told the OEM, hey, my volume grew 40%. But that doesn't help our industry. The disruption to the document imaging channel, those folks that sell, supply, and service print equipment is this. It's an annuity disruption. It's an annuity disruption. Our lifeblood, our profits, our money comes from the annuity side of our business. And we have really good salespeople that can go out there and schlep hardware and overspec and oversell A3s. But here's the reality. The end users are using those products less and less every single day, which puts pressure on the annuity part of our business. So we need to pay attention to what I call same-store sales. Some of my retail background coming out. In other words, what were those serial numbers doing pre-COVID and what are they doing now? Folks, it ain't growing. I know there's going to be a smart aleck out there that has a vertical, a print shop or something. They'll say, oh, well, we're growing. They're doing more now than they were then. I don't care about all that. I'm talking about a global number. Wes McCarter from NextEra was at the BTA just last week sharing the numbers on, 5 million devices? And the volumes are still about 25% off. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got to start substantiating what the OEMs say, regardless of the position of the OEM. And I'll also say this, if OEMs are going to talk about how they've diversified and how they're in IT services, and I've been talking about this for a long, long time, you got to start sharing your numbers. A long time ago, I was talking to someone from Samsung, and this Korean gentleman told me, you know what the difference between American businessmen and Korean businessmen is? And I said, what's that? And he said, well, Korean businessmen use Excel spreadsheets. American businessmen use Word. In other words, you guys are always just throwing all this emotional nonsense out there. We want it all substantiated with real numbers and real facts. And that's what's going on in our industry today. We're in the biggest disruption we've ever seen, right? We know it's never going back to the way it was. People are going to continue to use our products less and less. But we're still trying to come up with ways to make it all sound good. And fool ourselves, fool the audience. Who are we trying to fool? Folks, we need to figure out how to make money off the decline. We need to switch from A3 to A4. We need to hone in our cost so we can shift and pivot and diversify. It's not about the paperless world. It's about the users are using our products less and less every single day, and that will continue. It's not about a hybrid worker. It's about a remote workforce. It's about workflows built for remote workforces. It won't matter if 1% of the people are in the office or 90% of the people are in the office. If the office business decides to have workflows for remote workers, the first thing that has to go is what? Print. Second, scan. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's not fool ourselves into believing that people are going to go back to the office and they have all this pent-up demand to start going back to some normal. And they're going to start printing stuff. The world's moving to remote workers. Workflows are changing rapidly, keeping more information behind glass than ever before, and that's going to continue. We have an annuity disruption. Don't fool yourselves because you're selling a bunch of hardware. Because at the end of the day, everybody you sell that hardware to is going to use that product less and less. We have an annuity disruption. And it's going to get really, really costly for all those people that live in a delusional world that print's actually growing. Just some things to think about, my friends, over this long weekend. Have a fantastic day, because everybody knows this: status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all Monday.